Oh, hello there. I'm Mr. Perkins. I'm one of the drivers on the Fat Controllers Railway. It's a lovely spring day out there. Up to now, the weather's been quite cold, but now it's warmed up and all the snow is melted. I love this warm weather, but it can cause problems too. The melting snow can cause the rivers to rise and even to flood. That's what happens in one of these stories too. It's called Toby's Tightrope, but it's also about Mavis too. Mavis is a diesel engine belonging to the Ffarquhar Quarry Company. Mavis had taken trucks down Toby's line and got stuck because she didn't know how to manage on the icy rails. The manager spoke to her severely. "You are a very naughty engine. You have no business going down Toby's line instead of doing your own work up here." To put the trucks where Toby wanted them, Mavis had to go backwards and forwards, taking a few at a time. "If we used the tiniest bit of Toby's line," Mavis said, "we could save all this bother." The manager allowed her to go as far as the first level crossing. Some trains were so long that Mavis had to go beyond the level crossing. This gave her ideas. "Will you bump me at the level crossing and tell no one I asked you?" she asked the trucks. The trucks were delighted and promised they would. But then Toby arrived while Mavis was elsewhere and decided to shunt the trucks himself. They reached the level crossing and Toby's brakes came on. On, yelled the trucks, giving him a fearful bump. Toby was away, with the trucks screaming and yelling behind him. What none of them had realised was that melted snow from the mountains had turned a quiet stream into a raging torrent. The supports of the bridge had been washed away, leaving the rails like tight ropes across the gap. The driver braked hard. Toby went into a squealing slide, groaned fearfully and stopped, with his wheels treading the tightrope over the abyss. Mavis was horrified. She brought some men who anchored Toby with ropes while she pulled the trucks away. Then she ran to the rescue. Toby was soon back on firm track and saying thank you to Mavis. "A very smart piece of work," said the Fat Controller. "Mavis did well." Mavis looked ashamed. "It was my fault about those trucks, sir," she faltered. "I didn't know." Mavis is still young and makes mistakes, but she's never too proud to ask Toby. Toby always helps her put things right. And the manager agreed that Mavis could come down the line sometimes too. Well, I suppose everyone makes mistakes sometimes, don't they? But not everyone is as kind as Toby to help their friends put their mistakes right again. Oh, hello again. I was just looking through some of the letters we get here on the railway. This one is from a Mr. Mills of Ireland. He's written in to say that he's a bit confused about some of the quarries here on Sodor. So, thought I'd send him this postcard. It's a picture of the Ffarquhar Quarry. It's where Mavis works. Dear Mr. Mills, there are several quarries on the island of Sodor. There's the Blue Mountain Quarry in the centre of the island, and the China clay pits, which are a kind of quarry too. But the oldest working quarry is the Ffarquhar Quarry, at the very end of Thomas's branch line.
Get in line and get ready. You're all heading off to the docks this afternoon.
This is where Mavis, the diesel shunter, works, shunting trucks into trains ready to be taken away across the island. Toby, the tram engine, brings the quarry workers back and forth to Ffarquhar Quarry in his faithful coach, Henrietta. When Salty first came to Sodor, he was sent to work here too, but Salty preferred to be beside the sea. So, the Fat Controller sent him to work at Brendan Docks instead, which made him much happier. Mavis likes the quarry and is a hard worker. But she also likes to see the rest of the island. So, whenever she gets the chance, she likes to help take the trucks across the island too. Please feel free to write to me again if there's anything else you would like to know. Yours sincerely, Mr. Perkins. Right. Pop a stamp on that. Put it in the mailbag. And take it with me. Oh, it's about time for my next train. And it's still a lovely day. See you again soon. Goodbye.